Hello, I'm Zardus, and let's play City Skylines. Welcome to Capilano Islands, a city that we are plopping every building by hand and not having any zoning at all. So this episode, you can see I've added to our to-do list here. That's what this road is serving as for now, if you haven't watched the previous episodes. But pretty much what's on the list is adding a couple of schools, which will go in this area, and then building a road layout over here, which will be for low density residential, and adding some taller buildings along with these so that we can have mixed zoning in here. Alright, so to get started, we'll go ahead and work on the schools. And I picked this spot because right now we have our town hall, we have a little park, we have our fire and police station in here, and we have a church that shares its parking lot with the town hall. And it just seemed like a good spot to put the schools. Now, it's a little bit of a tight space. We're going to try and squeeze a elementary school and a high school in here, and hopefully it'll work out well. Let's check the contours of the map here. We're on quite a hill, and that may make things a little bit difficult, but we'll see how it goes. So we're going to go ahead and add our road here, and I want to bring over a building. I've been trying to decide. I have 3 elementary schools to pick from here. We have a large suburban elementary school, which is a newer design in terms of this is kind of what you would see in a newer suburb. Or we have another one that is a pretty bland architecture here, but I think it did fit in at one point in time, but it may not today, so that might be good if we want that school to be kind of older in the town. And then this one is even older yet. And I haven't quite decided what I want to do. I mean, this one is a beautiful asset, and I really want to use it. But the problem is, it may be a little bit too big. Let's go ahead and move it over here. You know, it's not actually that bad. But let's move it a bit. Get it down a little bit. I really don't like the hill here. Okay, let's try and do a little bit of terraforming and see what we can do. So we're going to take out the road a tiny bit. We have to be very, very careful because that's a lot of water over here. But what I want to do is increase the brush size, and we're going to level to this height. That should still contain the water. And we're just going to do this. When I made this map, I originally wasn't going to have any water in this starting area, but I decided I wanted to make it suitable for people to play vanilla, and so I felt compelled to add a little bit more water up here, and that's why we've got that there. But I like the look of this now. Let's check that contour again, and now it's kind of flat up here once you get up the hill by the water, and in general I like the look of that much better. You've got some cliff, you've got a little bit of water here. I should have done that when I made the map, but I didn't, so oh well. Okay, so we're going to bring the elementary school over here. My mouse is being a little weird, but oh well. And we'll go ahead and bring it over a tiny bit, because we can bring a road over in that direction. And for a high school, I was thinking these are 3 different assets. So this one over here is the vanilla high school, which actually I like the look of. Although it really needs more parking but every vanilla asset is that way. This is a classic high school, which is modeled after the high school found in SimCity 4, I believe. And it also looks pretty nice. It looks a little bit old school, but in comparison to our elementary school, which we just put down, it is very tiny. And it doesn't make sense to have this giant elementary school and one little high school like that. So then this is also kind of a classic high school look. And I like that quite a bit too. So let's move this one over to begin with. And we're going to bring it down quite a bit here to kind of match the terrain. Let's turn it around and bring it over here. So we could easily pretend that this was the original high school. And, sorry, I had to cough there, and I listened to one of my videos from this week, and I've had this cough for a couple of weeks now, and I didn't realize how loud it was in the recording until I listened to it this week, and so now I've been trying to mute the microphone for you so you don't have to hear me cough. But anyway, now I'm kind of rambling here. Let's see what this looks like if we bring this high school over and merge them together. Oh, that tree's in the way. It's a beautiful tree, but this isn't going to work this way. Okay, so let's move this over here. And let's have this one be the original high school. What I'm trying to do is make some combination of the buildings so that it looks like they had a building and then they decided to expand on it. And then they didn't really match the architecture perfectly, because that's pretty much how Americans do their remodeling and stuff like that. It's just lovely living here, to tell you the truth. But anyway, yeah, so this might work. I mean, we've got that tree. Yeah, that actually... I could pretend that they just need to trim it a little bit. And as I've said before, I don't care about things being absolutely perfect. I just care about them looking cool. And I think this might look pretty cool. It does kind of seem like you have an original high school here, and then one addition over here. And if I bring this one in, is that going to be too much? Because they're 3 very different styles. But if I bring it over like this, put it there. Yeah. You know, I'm not sure if I like that. Although it's not that bad. And it does kind of work. I went to a school once that was kind of like this, where they had an old building, and over the years they just kept adding on and on and on, and they didn't design it very well. So you could walk, could be on the 2nd floor, and you could go up the stairs and be on the 1st floor, and so it was just so incredibly confusing. Lucky for me, they built us a new school, and I only had to go to that old one for 1 semester, and then it wasn't quite as confusing. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm going for here in a nutshell. And I kind of like how this looks now. How we've I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? We've kind of cropped them together. And then we'll have another little... We'll expand this park and make a little patio area or something for the school. But then we also... and I forgot to get that asset. Hang on, I'm going to get something from the workshop. Okay, so what I did was I found... we have a baseball... let's put this over here real quick. In our spot. Slope too steep. Lovely. Okay, let's plop it down over here, just so you can see it. And then I also got a football stadium. Because to me, football and baseball are very important to high school. Now that grass texture is pretty bad, actually. I don't like this. We're not going to use that one. This one, on the other hand, also the... I mean, the grass is much better. I don't like those trees, so let's, that's not it. There we go, prop it up. Let's take out these trees. And maybe we won't be able to. Industrial fence. Trees, right, okay. So we want to take out the palm. No, why didn't that replace it? I clearly have not used Prop It Up enough to do this very well. But we will figure it out. Let's put in my favorite tree. The live oak tree. There, okay, so that went over there. That's too big, though. Let's try... That one's also too big. Okay. How about... a different one by Padelmo. I don't know. Hardwood. That one's not showing up. Okay, we'll do it this way. Looking at the trees that we have, we're going to find one that will work here. Black Frost might work. How does that look? And, oh, no building selected. Prop it up. Come on, prop it up. Okay, that wasn't what I wanted. Trees. Selecting the building. Okay. Palm short. I don't see where that got changed. You would think that these would be the palm short. We have an alder and a small bush. So why isn't it showing up there? What if we do it globally? We can't do it globally. Okay. Alright, well, whatever. We're just going to go with this, now that I've wasted like 2 minutes of trying to figure that out. But we're going to go ahead and move our football park over in here. And I don't think we have space for it, actually. Although maybe we can fit it right on the water like that. Now, is that building a little... yeah, let's move it up a tiny bit. Because I don't want it to be lower than the water level. There. And then they can go uphill to get there, although that really screwed up our fence. Okay, if we move this over here. Huh. Oh boy. Okay, well that's not gonna work there. So let's take it out. And apparently we need to fix this real quick. because that's gonna drive me nuts. So, man. And that's going to do it that way. Okay, we're just going to take out these. I don't know why it did this, but that is exceptionally annoying. Let me tell you. I am annoyed, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so now we need to find that fence really quick. I believe it's this one. Get our prop line tool going. And we want a single selection. Okay. So we're going to come this way to there. Then we're coming down here. And then we're just going to connect there. And that's going to have to do. Okay, so back to our football and school, now that we are more than halfway through the episode. We probably won't get to everything on my list, as usual. Why don't we go ahead and put the school on this side of the street. So now we have... Yeah, we can do that. I just want to lower it here, because it's on the slope. That'll make that little parking lot a little bit better. And we can lower this as well. So it's all flat. Okay, so next we need road access in here, as the buildings are telling me. And what we're going to do is, first of all, actually lower this a bit. And what does the contour look like there? I wonder if we can quickly level all of this out to that level. The elementary school can be up on a little slope. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I want parking lots in here, but let's go ahead and get anarchy on so we can try and get rid of these road access issues. See, the problem is I put the... There we go. And actually, we want that to be pedestrian roads. Now that I have done that... Oh. Delete. That worked, okay. So then we want to add on to this road. Just do that. That worked fine. And actually, I like how that looks right there. So then we're going to go ahead and add our 4x4 parking. And of course, it doesn't show up like my find it always seems to be. Yeah, I don't know why it there. Okay, fine. Put parking lot, parking lot, parking lot. So that is 4896, 144 spots. Let's keep going. I think high schoolers have a lot of cars. And this actually needs to be moved over to be even. And we can lower this. I'll lower this as well. And then we're going to bring in here another road And actually, I want it to be over a tiny bit. We're going to shift is the button I wanted there. We're going to move all of this over like that. We're going to raise this up so it is above that, like that there. So now the other thing we need to do is put a node in here real quick so that we can move the node over and get rid of that bollard. Okay. So now people can get in here, they can park at the elementary school. We need a little bit of ploppable asphalt, I think. There we go. Just one. And why is it doing that again? Oh, here. Single. See, I'm not very good with ploppable asphalt. I think I need more practice with that. But I also don't like how it doesn't match this texture here. So what we're going to do instead is stick with Surface Painter and fill this spot with cement, and then at some point we'll go in and put some curbs in here. But for now, let's see, we've got another thing I want to do over here. I think we had a different type of road there. Yeah. And then we just need to, we have a node here. We can connect it like that, and then move this over there. Okay. We'll do that like that. Okay. So now they can get in, they can park, they can... Oh, I was going to put more parking over here. Ah, I lost it again. I hope everybody finds that humorous. I find it a bit annoying, actually. But I think that was pretty obvious. And two more here. So then we can have school or buses line up here. We want to put a little more Surface Painter in here. We do need a little planter there for the tree. That looks better. Okay, so then we will get some school buses here. And we can keep lining them up like that. They're not going to be lined up perfectly because bus drivers are not perfect. We can do that. That should do, so it kind of looks like they're lining up to let out. We'll say that the elementary school doesn't let out at the same time as the high school. And let's see, so we have plenty of parking for the high school. This will be more park, and we can go ahead and add to that now. So you can see how I did this. I think I originally made that park off screen. But we're going to build a walking path over here and connect it to parking lot. Like, let's turn off snapping. Like that. And then we're going to bring this over here. Connect it back over there. Okay, so then what I want to do is I just want to select this, which should be all grass. Yeah, and we're just going to fill this grass in here. Why is it floating? Is it floating over there too? I think it is. Man. My props really got messed up over here when I did all this. Ah, shoot. Well, that was silly. Okay, so I do that from time to time. I selected the bulldozer instead of move it, and so now I lost all of the things that I was trying to copy, and yeah, so that was a bit frustrating. But are we still floating? I'm not sure, but we are. We're still floating, everybody. And this is just so frustrating. I'm going to have to wait to detail this until I'm not frustrated. So we're going to come back to that. And this is what I get for trying to do things live. But I think hopefully that makes it a little more entertaining for you. So that is going to be the school area. And let's see, what else do we have to do? We only have a few minutes left, so let's first of all get rid of these because we're not going to end up using them. And let's work a little on the road design. So these are the Morgan Street houses by King Leno. They just hit the workshop this week, I believe. And they are what I want to use for this part of town. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring one over here for a reference point so that we know where to build our blocks. And I do know that I want to put one block at the end of this section here, and that's not straight.
Welcome to the classes.
But that's okay, we have a mod for that.
And that's not classist, that's classicist.
That's better.
Look it up.
The road there, that works. Okay. So then we can keep going this way. You know what? I don't have this turned on. Okay. And we're going to bring that up. So that's going to break this block a little bit. And then I want, let's see. We also should bring one maybe here. Oh, we've got a node there. Shoot. That might work. Oh, because I have anarchy on. Yeah, the curve is not going to be happy, but we could bring it down that way. Let's actually take that out. Try again. Okay, so I want it to come here. I want it to be not that close to the stadium. There. Actually, that looks okay. I'm not happy with this curve, but again, that's what we have move it for. And that is quite a bit better, I think. So then this road is going to come all the way over here and terminate there. Then we want to eyeball this into two different blocks here. And that should do it. So then we just want to come over this way. And how are these going to look on these blocks now? So we can get one that way. And that's not the block I want. I want to look here. I want one house to be here. And that's kind of about where you'd expect it to be set back to, I think. And then let's copy that. And we want another one up a little bit, not that high. Maybe, I mean, do we want an alley in here? I think an alley would make sense, actually. In an older, oh shoot. That was a little weird. Okay, so put the alley like there. I do want them to be fairly close together, because I think that in this town it's going to be a little bit older, and so I think it makes sense to have them have not very big yards and stuff like that. I think in other parts of the region we're going to see much bigger properties and things like that. I mean, somebody may end up owning an entire island. That's the sort of thing I'm thinking of. So, yeah. Anyway, it looks like really what we're looking for is 4x4 with space in between. So we're going to use that. And we're going to do an alley. Let's use it here. Like that. I'm going to move the node just slightly, so that it's a little bit more straight. And then about there. We don't really care about how the zoning squares look, because we're not doing zoning. And it is going to be a bit funky with the hill and stuff like that. This road can come all the way down. This one as well. It looks like we're getting to a hill there. Yeah. We'll terminate it there. And bring that down to there. And we're going to do the same thing here with the alley. Like that. And then road in there and there. And do one more. And see if this road, does that look okay? It does, I think. We'll just bring it down there. They may get a little bit of a bigger lot size. And we'll figure out what to do over there in a bit. But that is going to be pretty good for these houses, I think. And of course I forgot to turn off prop and tree anarchy when laying those roads, so we have trees inside our roads, but that will work. And looking at the time, it looks like we are at the end of the episode, because I try to keep these at about 30 minutes long. But I'll tell you what I'll do before we go. If you're still around, I'm going to show you my plan for this area real quick, so we can get a sense of what it's going to look like. I'm going to have to take that tree out, but in the meantime, that's going to be how it looks, I think. We're going to have, is this a shop or oh, okay. Yeah, I think that is going to look very good. And I did download the no abandonment mod, so now it will be easier. We won't have things disappearing. Did I plop the two of the same thing? No, they're different. Yeah, this one is different from there. And just real quick, let's see if we can get rid of these trees. That is the live oak at the back. And wow, there's a ton of stuff to choose from. We'll do that next. Oh, maybe on 10 would work. I don't know. We'll think about that. In the meantime, it might be fine to have that. We'll decide. Anyway, that should do it for this episode. If you liked it, then please hit the like button. If you disliked it, please hit the dislike button and tell me why with a comment. And if you're new, please hit subscribe. If you're still around, I think you probably liked the content then, but if not, that's okay. And thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.